So it's right here in Atlanta that we set the table tonight. Well, generally speaking, when you preview a Mets-Braves game when Max Scherzer is on the mound, the conversation starts with Max Scherzer.
This is a high-end all-star pitcher.
Right. He is, after all, a three-time Cy Young Award winner, second only to his former teammate Justin Verlander on the active strikeout leaderboard, and a likely first-ballot Hall of Famer. But guess whose staff leads baseball in strikeouts?
Interested to know.
Well, I've got the answer. Yep, it's the Atlanta Braves, a team that's got 4 guys with 100 or more punch-outs. No other team has as many as 2 pitchers at that level. Not even back when Smoltz, Maddox, and Glavine were reminding us that chicks dig the long ball did the Braves ever have 4 guys with 100-plus strikeouts at the break. And these Braves aren't just racking up Ks, they're going deep into games. This season's big 3, Spencer Strider, Kyle Wright, and Max Fried, who goes tonight, all have at least 8 starts and ERAs under 3. The last time 3 Braves starters did that before the All-Star break, yes, you guessed it, 1997, 3 guys named John, Tom, and Gret. It's not really hard to believe. I mean, they were the gold medal standard. But back to the current staff. The Braves are within a game and a half of the Mets, and they play the first of 3 at home in Atlanta tonight, sweep the series, take first place. The Braves caught the Mets not because the Mets are playing poorly. In fact, it's quite the opposite. The entire division is playing really well. Take a look at the National League's best records since June 1. 4 of the 5 teams on this board all reside in the NL East.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Come on, it makes perfect sense. Those teams are all playing well. The Braves are listed as minus 135 home favorites tonight, with Max Fried's K-prop set at 4.5. Scherzer's has been moved. It was at 7.5, but it's off the board currently. Something to watch, perhaps, but 7.5 is where it opened. Only a day off today can cool off the Baltimore Orioles, by the way, as they travel to Wrigley Field to start a series with the Cubs tomorrow. Birds are hot, coming off an undefeated homestand. They've won 8 straight, their longest same-season winning streak since 2005, and they've already won more home series this year than they did in all of 2021. And it is that very home that has provided a most interesting angle for bettors. Yeah, by now we all know about the changes to the left field wall at Camden Yards, but not until you see it in person. And this is not what it looks like, but it kind of feels like it. Can you fully grasp the impact they've made on the game, specifically what the new dimensions have done to homers and runs scored? Just ask Trey Mancini, as he's one of a number of Orioles hitters that's been robbed of power numbers. He's lost 5 homers, balls that last year would have cleared the wall in left. And visiting players have been swallowed up as well. Leading up to this weekend series in Baltimore, Shohei Ohtani had hit 12 balls in his career at 390 feet or better to left, and all of them had been homers. Until what happened on Friday night. Batted ball number 13 of that distance to left. Welcome to Death Valley. A homer everywhere else, and it's an F7 at Camden Yards. I think it got him a little upset, too, but he never shows it. So what does that mean for bettors? Well, to start, stay away from right-handed pull hitter home run props for games played at Camden Yards. In fact, there have been more homers hit in places like Miami and Kansas City than in Baltimore. And only 5 parks have seen fewer homers this year. So something to consider that was previously unimaginable: under games at Camden Yards. Take a look at what a difference a year and a wall will make. Runs per game down, homers per game about cut in half, and minus 100 points off of last year's slug at Camden Yards. And those are all the largest drops at any ballpark in the game. Hey, another good pitching matchup takes place in St. Louis tonight, where the Phillies and Cardinals play the last of their 4-game series. Aaron Nola squares off with Miles Mikolas. Coming into play yesterday, the Cardinals had lost 8 of 10, having been shut out in 2 straight. Never in the 17-year history of New Busch Stadium had the Cards ever been shut out in 3 straight at home. And that's where, in trying to prevent that, today's starter Miles Mikolas tapped into his inner Shirley MacLaine conjuring up some good chi and bringing the St. Louis Bats to life with an ancient sage ceremony. Yeah, it may have looked like he was just taking a walk like the Marlboro Man, smoking a heater, walking around the ballpark, but it was actually sage that the Carney Lansford lookalike was blowing around the ballpark, and it worked. Tonight, he goes to work on the mound as a very slight plus 110 underdog against the Phillies in a game with the total set at just 7.5. A potentially appealing number for overs bettors, as the over is cashing at around 55% in games with a total set that low. Buyer beware in the series, however, as Matt Vierling has shown he's willing to go to great lengths to keep runs off the board. Ouch! That is unbelievable. You should see the divot. And we're still not sure if the divot he left in the outfield has been fully repaired.